had all the Alien movies coming out. We've got we've had all kinds of movies about dark, the dark and the light wizards and stuff like that, like Harry Potter. So so to some extent, psychologically, we're more ready for it because of that than we might have been. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how people respond. I think the worst reaction that people could have as a result of the Epstein files coming out is to just forget about it and do nothing and say, "Oh well, they're doing this. They got away with it. There's nothing we can do. Back to the office. Just
Let's
get
go
on
to
with
the
it."
other extreme with what you just said, because I often think about this, and I think about Nepal quite a bit and what happened there just
Mm.
months ago. Did you see the images where they even lynched politicians and all that? Um, I often think about that other extreme, that, there definitely is a really big possibility that people just go along with their day and don't say anything or do anything. But do you think that uh, people taking matters into their own hands is something that could be possible in this type of society, the Western world? Because that other thing happened in Nepal. That's nowhere near the technological advancement or anything like that compared to the US or Australia or the UK. Um, do you, do you think that would be possible? Something similar to what happened in Nepal, but with people fed up with these elites?
I mean, maybe one day, but I think that things probably have to keep getting worse before the population is at a point where they're willing to go that far. Because people are a lot more comfortable and a lot more distracted in the Western world.
Yeah.
Um, and they're a lot when you live your life in poverty, you're not worried about losing your comfort or your security because you don't have that. But so it's less of a step for you to then start a revolution.
Yeah.
But yeah, here in the Western world, I mean, we this isn't the first time that the government has done something that, or not done something that should have had people in the streets. I mean, the way that the big bankers made a run on everybody's money after the financial crash in 2008 or 9, an example of a moment when people should have been a
That
lot
was
more angry than they
horrible,
were.
bro. That was horrible.
Yeah, the whole global war on terror, introducing anti-terror laws that curtail people's freedoms, that was another big opportunity for people to rise up, and they didn't. So I don't
Yeah,
I
the
don't
the
see.
Edward Snowden whistleblowing, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's possible, maybe one day, but I don't think we're quite there yet. But yeah, if it ever does come to that, as you pointed out, there's dangers there as well, because quite often when you have a full blown revolution, the people that take over are even more brutal than the ones that went before.
Yes. That's a great point. That's a
Like
great
you
point.
think about, yeah, yeah, in France in 1789, undoubtedly they needed to get rid of those elites, and they were morally corrupt and all of that. But in France in 1789, you had the terror after that, and then in Russia also in 1917, you had Stalin rise to power eventually. So
Yeah.
we need to think about we do need to think about I think a society where we don't have people ruling over us that are like this, but we need to think about what the alternative is, and we just have to make sure that it's based around caring for each other, and you know not one of these kind of fanatical ideologies. So I
Yeah.
think it begins. I think that the process of change has to begin with uh, creating strong communities again. That's
Yeah.
my personal view.
When it comes to this topic, though, I've seen a bunch of cautionary tales happen, like, because people have these experiences, right? They get abducted, they have contact with these beings and all that. And there have been multiple times when some of these people even create religions around the experience that they had, and they start interpreting it as they see fit, based on their worldview, based on their upbringing. It's happened with, for example, the Raelian movement. It happened with L. Ron Hubbard, who his religion is one of the most powerful right now, I would say, has a lot of influence. Um, and I've been critical of people like, for example, Chris Bledsoe, and the way his son talks about these things. And it sort of feels like that's a slippery slope towards becoming a cult leader and stuff like that. And I'm not saying Bledsoe is. In fact, I'm sure that he's not seeking that out actively. But there's a lot of people that approach him, that surround him, that do have this predilection towards worshiping a higher power. And I think this is like a commonality in humans. Many of us do have this almost ingrained in our genetics. I don't know. Um, do you think that that might be exacerbated if some sort of disclosure happens and we realize that organized religion is not really what we thought, and then these movements could come forward? What do you think about that possibility? Have you ever thought about it?
Yeah, I think that it is a possibility. Uh, yeah, I think, well, yeah, I think that it could benefit new uh, religious movements that are coming on the scene, including, unfortunately, cults. Um, but I think that there's also powerful people uh, from a different kind of elite altogether, the Collins elite, who see disclosure as an opportunity to push Christian fundamentalist belief by labeling these things as demons, these UAP entities. So yeah, I definitely think that a religious uh, reaction is very possible to this whole thing. Um, and we do have a bad habit of worshipping things that are greater than us and turning them into gods.